Okay, so problem number 21, factoring, and this is something I believe we did in Algebra 2. We did not spend a whole lot of time on it. I'm going to give you a couple of formulas, and I may or may not give you these formulas when we have a test over this in a few weeks or so, whenever we have a test. So look at number 21. We have, what do we have here? 64x3 minus y to the sixth, okay? You guys know a squared minus b squared, a difference of squares factors to a plus b, a minus b. I'm going, huh? Well, you've done that 1,000 times. You just may not realize that. Like if I gave you, x squared minus 25, that factors to x plus 5, x minus 5. Okay, I taught you in Algebra 2, and again, we spent probably 2 days on it, and then we never talked about it again. A sum of squares, I'm sorry, not a sum of squares, a sum of cubes and a difference of cubes. Jot these down. A cubed plus b cubed factors to a plus b, a squared minus ab plus b squared. Jot that down. Okay, and then a difference of cubes, a cubed minus b cubed, is a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. I'll let you copy that down while I'm in the marker. It's not drawing out. And like I said, we didn't spend a whole lot of time on that in Algebra 2. And I believe that when we had tested over it, I know I gave you the formulas. I may give you these formulas on your test whenever we take it. I'm not sure yet. Very likely I will though. Okay. So, and what we did while you're copying those down, what we did in Algebra 2, like if I gave you something such as this, if I gave you x cubed minus 8, okay? That's a difference of cubes, because this is x cubed and 8 is 2 cubed. 2 times 2 times 2, okay? So what I would do in Algebra 2 was I'd put x here and then put 2 here. Would I use Formula 1 or Formula 2? You guys think?
2.
Why? It's subtraction, it's minus, okay? So a and b are x and 2, so it'd be x minus 2, a squared, which is x squared, plus a times b, which is x times 2 times 2x, plus b squared, so plus 2 squared, which is 4. And then you're done. Let me give you another one that we would have done in Algebra 2. If I gave you y cubed minus 27, let's make it plus 27. That's a sum of cubes. This is y cubed, and this is 3 cubed. Be careful, students think it's 9. 9 times 9 times 9 is way bigger than 27. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Would we use formula 2 again? No, we'd use formula number 1 because it's plus. So a and b are what? And again, I want to make sure you understand a and b are something. A is what the first thing is cubed. B is the second thing that's cubed. The first thing that's cubed is y. The second thing that's cubed is 2. There's 3. Okay, so we do a plus b, so y plus 3 times a squared, which is y squared, minus a times b, y times 3, which is 3y, plus b squared, plus 3 squared, which is 9. Does this look just a little familiar at all? Is that totally like, I swear we did this in Algebra 2, but we didn't spend a whole lot of time. Does that even look familiar at all, maybe? Okay. Anyhow, so if not, then well, we're learning here for the first time. This is one that looks a little bit tougher, okay? It's still a sum or a difference of cubes, but this is not what I would have given you in Algebra 2, okay? So, let's look at this. First off, and if it helps you, you might want to jot these down. This list of numbers you definitely should be familiar with, okay? You don't necessarily need to write these down for this problem. These are all squares. I wrote that list of numbers many times last year in Algebra 2. 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 10 times 10, 7 times 7. The 15th number on the list is 15 times 15, okay? 84th number on the list is 84 times 84, whatever that is. Those are the first 10 squares. Right next to it, I'm going to put this. Any idea what these numbers are? Cubes. First 10 cubes. Why is 512 the 8th number on the list? 8 times 8 times 8. 216 is the 6th number on the list. 6 times 6 times 6, okay? So, again, I don't want you to memorize these lists. I want you to understand how to come up with them, okay? I mean, you could just use a calculator to be able to come up with them. And you should be able to. I mean, the 95th number on this second list would be 95 times 95 times 95, which is whatever that is. Okay, and I don't really care what it is. So, this is a cube. Be careful. 64 is a square, but it's also a cube. It's both, okay? 64 is 8 squared. It's also 4 cubed, okay? So this right here is definitely a cube. It's x cubed, and this is 4 cubed. So together, what cubed is this? 4x. This is a little harder one. That is a cube. What cubed is y to the 6th? Very good. Y squared cubed. It's y squared cubed, because it was y to the 2nd cubed, it'd be y to the 6th. Very good. It's y squared cubed. So a and b are 4x and y squared. And since it's minus, we're going to use this one right here. So a minus b is 4x minus y squared. And then we square that first term. Be careful, you're squaring all of 4x. 4x times itself. 4x times 4x, 16x squared, plus a times b, 4x times y squared is 4xy squared, plus b squared. Y squared squared is y to the 4th. So I mean, these formulas, all you're doing is you're picking the right formula and plugging it in. That's all you're doing. Okay? Okay, 23. Oops. When do you guys wrestle? This week sometime? Friday. Okay. 23. This will be an easier one. 64x3 plus 27. These are both cubes. We already did 64x3. That's 4x cubed. 4x times 4x times 4x is 64x cubed, and 27 is 3. This time it's plus, though, so we're going to use formula number 1. A plus b is 4x plus 3 times a squared, which is square 4x. 4x times 4x is 16x squared, minus a times b, so minus 4x times 3, so minus 12x, plus b squared, plus 3 squared, which is 9. Occasionally students say, what if I just put 3 squared? Am I going to mark you wrong? Probably. I'll probably take a point off. I mean, you need to put it simplest. I mean, 3 squared is 9. I mean, it's kind of like saying this. I mean, true or false, the next question we do is question number 5 squared. Is that a true statement? The next problem we do is question number 5 squared? Or not? Yeah, why? It's 25. I mean, is it wrong to say 5 squared? No. But, you know, a simpler answer is we're doing number 25. Okay? So 3 squared is 9. Make sure you square that. Okay. 3x3 plus 3x squared is 27x. It's been a while since we've done a question like this. First off, look for a common factor. So anything I can factor out of all of that? 3. 3x? Why not 3x? There's a bunch of x's there. Not every one. If there was 100 terms and 99 of them had x's, you still can't take an x out. You have to all have x's. So take out a 3. 3 times x3 plus 3 times x squared minus 3 times 9x minus 3 times 9. Now, does that factor further? Short answer is maybe. Probably. Okay, it probably does. Think back to algebra 2. It's a very, very basic step right here. You know what you do with that 3? Cover it up. Don't look at it. Erase it? No. It's there. Just ignore it, okay? Now, this has been a long time since we've done this. You guys remember how you factor 4 terms?
That triangle.
No. It's a good guess, but no. It's been a while. It's okay. I didn't anticipate you guys knowing that. We group them. First 2, last 2. Okay? First 2, last 2. What can I factor out of x3 and x2? X? X squared? What should I take out, an x or an x squared? The more the better. So put down x squared times what is x3? X plus x squared times 1 gives you x squared. There's a lot of algebra 2 review in this one question right here. What can I factor out of the other 2 terms?
9.
Definitely 9, but what?
Negative 9.
Why?
Can't just put
What'd you say?
The negative between the two, between x squared and 9x.
Wrong spot.
That's fine.
Okay. I thought you said that both of them are negative. They don't both have to be negative, okay? The first one needs to be negative. Like if I give you this right here, 15x plus 25. What can I factor out of that? 5. Just 5. Okay? Now if I did this, I would factor out negative 5. Okay? If it was this, I would only factor out 5. It's if the first one is negative, you factor out the negative, okay? So let's factor out negative 9 times what is negative 9x? X. Negative 9 times what is negative 9? Positive 1. And again, it's been a while since we've done this. And other than the teacher helping you with this problem, why does this look like we're probably on the right track? Do you guys remember from Algebra 2? What? Inside the parentheses are the same, okay? Now let's put this question on hold. If I gave you this right here, if I asked you to simplify that, what would you guys do? Do what? Oh yeah, come on. What do you do if you have a number sitting next to parentheses? Distribute, and then you'd combine like terms, okay? But what if I gave you this? You can do that much, much quicker. Read what it says. 5, 3x plus 1s plus 2.
I put 7.
7 what?
3x plus 1.
Why are you allowed to do that on this one but not that one? Stuff in the parentheses is the same. You could do that. And if you really wanted to, you could distribute the 7 now if you wanted to, but you don't need to, okay? You can't do that here because the stuff inside the parentheses is not the same, okay? You have to do it the long way, okay? Now, where did 7 come from? This may sound stupid. 5 plus 2. How many 3x plus 1s are right there? 5. How do you know that? It says so. How many are here? 2. And you got 7 by 5 plus 2.
Yeah, this is true.
So what if I did this? How many 3x plus 1s are there here? A. How many here? Be careful. How many altogether? No, not AB. What's wrong with AB? That means multiply. You didn't multiply them. If you have A of them and you have B of them, you put them together, you didn't have AB, you have A plus B what?
3x plus 1.
A plus B, 3x plus 1s, okay? So, how many x plus 1s do you have here? Sounds weird saying it. X squared, how many here? Negative 9. So together,
X
x squared
squared.
minus 9, what's?
X plus 1.
X plus 1s.
They have to bring down 3.
Do what? Oh, yep.
Down 3.
Thank you. Sometimes I do that to see if you guys catch it. I just totally lost it. Forgot about it. We're not done. Does this possibly factor further?
Maybe.
Maybe or definitely? It's no longer on the board. I erased it. That's a what? X squared minus 9. That's a something, something, something.
Sum
Difference of squares. That's what squared? So x plus 3, x minus 3. What's after that? X plus 1. What's still in front? 3. Does that possibly factor further? No way. Why? What's that? Right. Well, they are, but they're all ones. They're all ones, okay? And if you remember from Algebra 2, you don't have to get everything to first degree. Like, for example, was everything first degree here? No, second degree, third degree, fourth degree, but that doesn't factor any further, okay? You don't have to get everything to first degree, but if you do get everything to first degree, you're done. It doesn't go any farther than that, okay? All right. 27. Okay. Okay. And I really want to have some discussion on this one. Oops, sorry about that. What is that? Is that a sum of cubes, a difference of cubes, a difference of squares, or what?
Difference of cubes.
different.
Difference of cubes? Well, could it be a sum of cubes? What's sum mean? Okay, and Meerkat answered this a few minutes ago, okay? See if anybody can answer besides him, though, okay? You said difference of, what did you guys say, cubes? Anybody want to argue that? I'm not saying you're wrong. It is difference cubes. Anybody want to add to that?
Can we difference of squares?
Which is it? You're still up. Is this a square?
Yeah.
It's what squared? What squared is a to the 6th? A, well, that's a cube then.
But you
So
can
it's
also
key.
do
Okay,
it.
okay, but the answer, okay, you guys are right, but I want you to answer you're answering the right answer for the wrong question. If this is a square, it's what squared? A to the 3rd squared. If it's a cube, it's what cubed? So it's either a squared cubed or a cube squared. So which is it? It doesn't matter, okay? Let's say that they're cubes. So a squared cubed minus b squared. Now just don't do this. Don't make it a squared cubed minus b cubed squared. Don't make one a square and one a cube because there's no formula for that, okay? So it's a difference of cubes, okay? This may sound really, really weird here. I'm going to write this down here again. A cubed minus b cubed equals a minus b, a squared plus ab plus b squared. This may sound weird here, okay? Remember, a and b, a is simply the first thing that's cubed, b is the second thing that's cubed, okay? So what's a here?
A squared,
And what's b?
B squared,
So what's a minus b?
A squared cubed,
No, no, no. What's cubed? A squared and b squared. So a squared minus b squared. What's a squared? You said a is a squared. What's a squared? Squared. A4. Plus, again, a and b are just the two things that we're cubing. So what and what? A squared times, which is a squared, b squared. Plus b squared. So what squared? B squared squared, which is what? B4. Okay. Any of that factor further? Definitely. Which one? A squared minus b squared. What's that? That's the difference of squares. That's what squared? A and b. So a plus b times a minus b. A4 plus a squared, b squared plus b4. We did this in Algebra 2, but these are much more complicated. Like I said, a lot of this class is Algebra 2 just on steroids. Now, when we get to 29, write down the problem, then stop. I remember about 4 or 5 years ago. I remember when I first started doing this worksheet 4 or 5 years ago. I got stuck. I totally got stuck, okay? I had to stop, and we had to put a star next to this one. I had to go back to my desk and then eventually figure it out and come back and help the students about this one. Okay, so write it down, and then just watch. Okay, so we have x2 plus 4x squared plus 4 is 9y squared. And see if you guys, and I told you this in Algebra 2. Told you this in Algebra 2, see if you guys remember. I've already told you today also. Once you write down this problem, stop writing.
Why'd you put a square on the 4x?
Because I wrote it down wrong. Thank you. Thank you for telling me now also instead of halfway through the problem. Okay, is everything else okay? Yep, okay. So, what am I supposed to do? I have 4 terms. What am I supposed to do? Group them. Just don't write. Trust me, I'm doing you a favor. Don't write. And it has to be 2 and 2. It has to be. Why can't I have 3 and 1? Forget about math. Why can't I have groups of 3 and 1?
Because that's
Now, these 4 students right here, if I'm going to put them in groups, it has to be 2 and 2. Why can't I make these 3 in a group and him be in a group?
One's not a group.
One's not a group. A group's got to be more than 1. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so it's got to be 2 and 2. Okay? Again, don't write this down. What can I factor out of these?
X.
Times x plus 4. This is a difference of squares. That's what? 2 and 3y. So 2 plus 3y, 2 minus 3y. It's already been said today. You like what we got so far?
No.
Why? Stuff in the parentheses is not the same. I remember doing this like 5 years ago, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Well, here's what you do. And I never gave you one like this in Algebra 2, okay? I'm going to totally contradict what I just said a second ago. I told you in Algebra 2, it's always 2 and 2. Always 2 and 2. I said, until you get to FST. When you get to FST, sometimes it's not 2 and 2. okay? Sometimes it's 3 and 1, even though it contradicts what I just said with the students, okay? We're gonna have these three together, okay? Underline those three, go and start writing now, okay? We're gonna have those three together, we're gonna leave the 9y squared by itself, okay? You guys have the chance to really impress me here in a minute, okay? Let's factor this thing right here, okay? So we have x squared, that's x and x. We look at our last, it's a positive, so it's either plus plus or minus minus. There's no negative, so it's plus plus. And it's what and y? It's going after the pluses. What goes here, and why?
2 and 2.
Why?
Gotta get 4.
Do what?
Add to that.
Oh, careful.
No, multiply.
Multiply to that,
Add to that.
and add to that. Minus 9y squared. And you might be thinking, that didn't do much good. Yes, it did. What's another way of saying x plus 2 times x plus 2?
X squared plus 4.
Careful, don't make it harder than it is. What?
X plus 2 squared?
Like that?
No.
Okay, any idea what we do now? We've done it a couple times today. It doesn't really look like this, but we've done this a couple times. We just did it in the last problem. It says x plus 2 squared minus 9y squared. Again, I never would have given it. What?
Difference of squares.
Difference? This is what squared?
X plus 2.
This is what squared?
9y.
No, not 9y.
Y.
Negative.
No. Get off the 9.
3.
3. 3 what?
Y.
Let's backtrack. What squared? X plus 2,
3.
3y. So it factors to x plus 2, what? X plus 2 minus 3y? And x plus 2
Plus.
plus 3y. I usually do a plus minus, but you can do minus plus, it doesn't matter. Very good. Now, we haven't said this all day. Hopefully you guys remember this. If I really wanted to, how could I check that? Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use the word FOIL. FOIL, you have 2 terms times 2 terms. You would multiply each of these 3 terms by what? Each of those 3 terms, and you would get that, okay? Okay, let's try to knock out, maybe 3 more, and then we'll stop for today. Okay, 31. Okay, 31, simplify each expression. Okay, so when you look at this, and you gotta be careful on this one, okay? 31, it says y squared minus 25 over y cubed minus 125, okay? They want you to simplify this thing here. Here's what some students will do. They'll say, well, there's one more y on bottom, and I've taught you that. You can only cancel things off if they're a common factor. Common factor means they go into each other. Like, for example, this right here. If I give you 15 over 25, okay? That's the same, you can say 5 goes into each of these. I could write this as 5 times 3, oh, let's make it over 20. Over 5 times 4. I can cross these 5s out, and the answer is 3/4. I can do that, okay? If I went like this, 6 over 5 is the same as 5 plus 1 over 5. Would you guys agree with that? Don't think hard on this. Is 6 over 5 the same as 5 plus 1 over 5? Yeah. Can I cross these 5s off and get 1 for an answer?
No.
You may not know what 6 divided by 5 is, but you should know it's not 1. Why can't I cancel these 5s off? Because it's separated by a plus sign. You can cancel things off if it's separated by multiplication. So, can I cross off these y's? It's separated by a minus right there. Now, if it said 25y squared over 125y3, then can I cross off some y's? Yes, you can, because it's separated by multiplication, okay? When it's separated by pluses or minuses, you can't do that, okay? This point forward on this assignment, if you're not sure what to do, and I've told you from day one when I taught you this back in algebra, that factoring's hard. Factoring, I can't ever think of a time where factoring's a bad idea, okay? It may not necessarily help, but it never hurts, okay? If you're not sure what to do, factor, okay? So, does y squared minus 25 factor? No.
Well, you could make it 5, right?
What do you mean?
Like you square root it or something?
Well, no, well, we got to square root both sides, and there's no sides, there's no equal sign here. But does it factor? Y squared minus 25. Yeah, that's a what? We've done it, we just did the last problem.
Difference.
Difference of squares. This is what squared?
Y. 5.
So y plus 5, y minus 5. Shaylin probably did y minus 5, y plus 5. That's fine, I don't care, same thing. Okay, she went minus plus, I do plus minus. That's just the way I've always done it, doesn't matter, okay? Y cubed minus 125.
Difference of cube.
Difference of cubes. This is what cubed? Y, and this is? Little numbers get big really fast when you times them by themselves. 5. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. So A and B are Y and 5. So A minus B is Y minus 5. A squared would be what? Y squared plus A times B.
5y.
Y times 5 is 5Y plus B squared,
5 squared.
which is 25. Did that help much?
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Why? What can we do now? Here's the deal. Get this in your head for the next several weeks. The reason why we factor is we're attempting to cancel stuff, okay? That's why we're going to factor. We want to cancel things if possible. And the book that we're using wants you to cancel things, okay? They want you to, okay? What can we cancel?
The Y minus 5.
Why are we allowed to do that?
Both sides.
Okay, and can we do that? Are they separated by pluses or minuses? Maybe, what do you have as a minus there? No, no, no. What is y minus 5 separated by? Parentheses, and parentheses mean times. You can cross off y minus 5 and y minus 5. So we're left with y plus 5, or y squared plus 5y plus 25. We're simplifying expressions. Lots and lots and lots of factoring.
Without the answer for that right there.
That's the simplest expression yet. We're not actually finding solutions because they're not equations. Okay, 2 more to go. I am not going to write down the original first problem, okay? It says 9x squared minus 4. I mean, I'm putting anybody down here, but that's what you should be able to factor in your head, okay? What is 9x squared minus 4? We just did it a second ago. It's a what? 9x squared is what squared? 3 what? 3x and 4 is 2. So 3x plus 2 and 3x minus 2. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you guys something here, and this is not cheating. It's being efficient. And that's being serious here, okay?
Remember those words. When I'm
No. I am not cheating. I am being efficient, okay? When we look at the bottom, it says 3x squared minus 5x plus 2, okay? Now, this we're going to attempt to factor. We're going to attempt to factor this thing. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to put right underneath this, put our 2 sets of parentheses. I'm going to put 3x and x. To make 3x squared, it's 3x and x. Then, do we look at the middle term or the last term? You guys remember? Middle term or last term? Last. How do you make a positive 2? How do you get a positive when you times?
Plus plus minus minus.
Which is it, plus plus or minus minus?
Plus minus.
I gotta get some negatives somehow, okay? That little trick about timesing to this, but adding to that doesn't work because of that 3. That only works if there's a 1 right there, okay? Now, we do want it times to get 2, okay? We do want it times to get 2. There's only one way to get 2 many times. Okay, now here's where we're being efficient. We're not cheating, okay? I want to see if you guys can figure this out. And I've already kind of told you the answer like 3 minutes ago. I don't know if you guys caught it. I said it kind of quickly, okay? What I want to know is, does it make a difference where I put the 1 and the 2?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. In Algebra 2, I said, oh, just guess. We just guess. You're not allowed to calculate right now, okay? If you start to respond and say, well, when he times this, I'm going to say, no, you're not allowed to calculate. I want a different reason, okay? Do you think it's going to be 2 here and 1 here? Or do you think it's going to be 1 here and 2 here? If you had to guess,
2 and then 1.
the first way or the second way?
First.
Why?
Because they're closer together.
Okay. Well, no. I mean, there's still 2 and 1. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because 3 and 2. Okay, that's a good guess. What'd you say?
Because there's 3x minus 2 on the top.
So? Keep going, you're right there.
You wanna,
You can
you wanna
cancel.
get rid of, cancel each other out.
You want to cancel stuff out, okay? If it was this right here, look at this and look at this. What's going to cancel?
Nothing.
Nothing. Will anything cancel if you do this?
Yeah.
Yes. Does that mean that's definitely right?
No.
Not necessarily, but that's what you want. The book wants you to cancel things, okay? It sets it up so things will cancel, okay? So we're going to try this one, okay? Now we need to check it though. Our outers are negative 3x. Our inners are negative 2x. Is that negative 5x? Yep. So what I'm getting at is this. By being efficient, look at what you already have, and when you're guessing and checking, guess and check things that they've already seen before so they'll cancel out, okay? All right, let's get rid of this. Times. Okay, so can I factor anything out of the top? 9x4 minus 6x3 plus 4x squared? Is there anything that factors out of that? Nothing? Really? I know nothing goes to 9, 6, and 4 besides 1, but come on.
2.
What do you mean 2? X squared. X squared times 9x2 minus 6x3. And I lied, this is the last question of the day. Whoops, not 6x3, 6x. Sorry about that. Plus 4. Does that factor further? Maybe. Maybe it does. I don't know. We'll deal with that in a minute. Over. Okay, can I factor anything out of 27x4 and 8x? Take an x out. X times 27x3 plus 8. Okay. So, let's do the bottom first. The bottom will be easier. Okay? Does 27x3 plus 8, does that factor any further? We talked about it today.
Difference of cubes.
Careful. We're adding.
Sum of cubes.
Sum of cubes. It's a sum of cubes. This is what cubed? 3, x, and 2. Okay, so A and B are 3x and 2. So don't forget that x right there. Okay. So A plus B is what plus what? 3x plus 2 times A squared would be what squared? 9 what? 9x squared. And just so you know, Cassie, in a couple seconds I'm going to tell you to be quiet. Okay. Minus A times B is 3x times 2, which is 6x. Actually, just be quiet right now, Cassie. I have a feeling you're going to say it. Okay. Plus B squared. 2 squared, which is 4. Okay. All right, so we factor the bottom. Okay. Let's look at the top. Does the top factor for, do you see it? Okay. Does the top factor, does this factor further?
No.
It might, I don't know. I really don't know.
But we wanna keep it.
What do you mean?
Because we
So,
have 9x
can you-
squared minus 6x, we wanna get rid of it.
So do I need to do anything to that?
No.
This may factor, but you know what? Who cares? Look what we have here. X squared times 9x squared minus 6x plus 4. You can say what he just said. What now?
It cancels.
These cancel. It doesn't matter if it factors any further. See you later. They're gone. Okay, now we still have 3x plus 2 times 3x minus 2 over 3x minus 2 x minus 1.
So can you like cancel the cross too?
We definitely can, as long as something's on top somewhere and something's on bottom somewhere. So what can I cancel off? 3x plus 2, and 3x plus 2, keep going.
3x minus 2.
3x minus 2 and 3x minus 2, keep going. One more thing.
X and x.
Well, x squared and x, 2 questions. Where? How many more? Where are the more x's, on top or bottom? How many more? 1 more what?
X.
So what's on top finally?
X.
What's still on bottom?
Nothing.
There's something on bottom.
1.
Careful. No, we cancel off this x squared and this x.
X minus 1.
We cross these x's off?
No.
Why? One's on top, one's on bottom.
Separated by the negative.
Separated by minus, that's as far as you can go. Phew. We never would have done something like that in Algebra 2. Lucky you guys, we can do it now. All right, we're done for today. Also, initially, I had a homework quiz down for this for tomorrow, and I moved it to Thursday. It might even be Friday, I don't know. We'll see how things go. Okay, we're done for today.